Well, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to another one of those special and beautiful videos. And today's video is going to be on the concept of Yogi and Avayogi planets. And what are the meanings? What are they all about? And this is actually a very beautiful concept in astrology, which was discovered by Shiranjari Iyer or Sinjarari Iyer. I think I'm butchering his name. I'll put it in the description, but he was the one to really come up with this concept of Yogi and Avayogi planets. However, for me, the discovery of Yogi and Avayogi planets came about through my own software. When I first got my software, and I made out the first report and I look at all the details. There I noticed this something called at the bottom of this one page, Yogi, Avayogi planet, 64th Navamsha and all. And this is where I started really researching on, this concept. And that's where, this simplest, beautiful world kind of opened up for me. And obviously, if you want to know where your Yogi and Avayogi planets are and what they're all about, once you find out, when I tell you what they're all about and you want to know what they are in your own horoscope, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations here. And I think it's on page 46. So between option 4 and 9, when you get that, it's when you get the report, it's on page 46 at the bottom, which shows you your Yogi planet is this and your Avayogi planet is this, and there's a duplicate Yogi as well. So it's like Yogi and Avayogi planets are like yin yang, and then the middle ground is the duplicate Yogi. So first of all, let me just say this as a small disclaimer to people who are trying to learn about this Yogi and Avayogi planets. And also the way you calculate this mainly is you take the longitude of moon and sun, add them together, and I believe you also have to add 93 degrees and 20 minutes to it. If it's over 360 degrees, don't ask me. I don't know how to calculate this. I'm very bad at math, so don't ask me about how to calculate it. I just look at it in the report and that's how I know. But the disclaimer is this. See, first of all, Yogi planet is a planet that gives you opportunities, that gives you prosperity, that gives you or takes away all the hurdles and rocks from your life. An Avayogi planet that gives you obstacles, that gives you hurdles before it takes you to a certain plateau. It gives you challenges. And when do they give you these challenges? Mainly they give you this in their Mahadashas, like the concept of Vedic Astrology, Mahadashas, Antradashas. And I'm actually writing, I'm done with the book, it's just being edited. It's called Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, which will come probably towards the end of this year. But that's where you really judge what type of a time period a person will have. And the other way to see this is if any planet is sitting in the sign of your Yogi planet or Avayogi planet or in their nakshatras, those planets will kind of give results to these two planets, Yogi and Avayogi planets. Now, regarding the disclaimer, when we are astrology enthusiasts, and I'm putting myself in this category because I used to be an astrology enthusiast who looked at astrology like many do. 90% of the people do. And the reason why I'm saying this is because we take one concept early on when we're learning astrology. We take one thing and we create a mountain out of it. We think this little one thing is the end all and be all of our life. Like when you're learning astrology, right, and you learn about debilitated planets. Oh, they're the weakest planet. They're the one that cause damages. Then you see that there's a debilitated planet in your chart. And you're like, oh my God. Oh no, why do I have this? now I'm definitely going to lose in life and I'm not going to have what I need in life because my planet is debilitated. Why was I born on this day? And you looking at that thing so immaturely, you don't probably even realize that that debilitated planet is probably the planet that will give you all the wealth in life. That will probably take you to the highest of the highest plateau. So when you look at astrology, don't look at one thing and think your whole life is over. So I know what's going to happen now. People are going to look at their Yogi and Avayogi planets. And they're going to be like, oh my God, my Avayogi planet is Mercury and I'm going to go through its Mahadasha in 5 years or 2 years. Oh no, I'm going to have all the obstacles in life. What's going to happen to me? If you think like this with every concept, whether it's Bhrigu Bindu, whether it's Bhrigu Chakra Paddhati, whether it's Bhrigu Nadi Jyotish, or even basic astrology, if you take one little concept of debilitated planets or having some bad yoga and you think that is your life, then my best wisdom to you is going to be do not even study astrology. You'll be far better off not studying astrology than taking this one thing and making a mountain out of it. Because astrology is like an organism in itself. It's like, imagine this remote as all of astrology. Now, little thing right there, that little dust particle or that little thing is probably the Avayogi and Yogi. Or that one little thing is your Bhrigu Bindu, your destiny point, right? That I talk to you about. So if people say all the time, my Bhrigu Bindu Lord is debilitated and it's conjunct Saturn. What's going to happen? Is my destiny doomed? Will I ever reach my destiny? And they're looking at this one thing and thinking everything is over. While they don't even realize that perhaps that Bhrigu Bindu Lord planet that shows you your destiny may actually need the help of Saturn to achieve its goal. So don't look at one little thing and judge this whole thing, because this whole thing is an organism in itself. It's like a brain. It's like those neurological connections, the currents that are happening, trillions of those within a second. And you're looking at one neurological connection and thinking that's how you study the brain. And if that's how you study the brain, then you should not be a neurologist. Which means if you look at this one thing and you judge your whole chart based on it, you shouldn't be into astrology. Because the reason why I have to say this, because everybody does this. I used to do this. Now when I look at something, like, okay, there's this bad yoga. I already am looking at 10 different things to see if there's a cancellation of this. If there's something superseding that yoga. Is this yoga necessary for this person to succeed? So this is the thing that you need to remember before you even look into your Yogi and Avayogi planet. Because here's the thing. When a rishi wrote this concept of Yogi and Avayogi planets, although Shri Iyer discovered it, but when they write a sloka in classical texts, and they give you a sloka that if this planet aspects that planet, and if it's conjunct that planet, this person will be penniless. So you read that classical sloka, and you are now in a very doom and gloom state. Like, I have this yoga, and already I don't have money, I'm 25 years old, this is right. But you don't realize one thing, is that the rishi wrote that sloka not for you, the student. He wrote it for the master, the guru, to take that and show you how to decode it. Because here's the thing. What if you were to receive your $1 million wealth at the age of 30? And at 25, you're taking this little yoga, this sloka, and thinking you are just the biggest loser in life. Where a guru will show you that, look, the only time this yoga is really dominant and comes alive is because you have to check the position of them in this chart and see if this yoga is occurring, especially in this chart. And if this planet is conjunct this planet, then you can say this yoga is true for life. But if you're taking that one sloka and just putting it on your birth chart and say if it works or doesn't work, that means you don't know nothing about astrology because you don't know how to decode it. And I actually talked about this concept on my Facebook. Just 2 days ago, I made a video on Yogi, Avayogi planet, and people were like, can you please emphasize and talk about this more? So that's why I'm doing it. And actually, I'm actually making more videos on my Facebook page now, because I realized that my one video reaches like 50,000 people. I have like 200,000 people on my Facebook, but within 2 days, 50, 60,000 people will watch my video. And I'm like, wow, Facebook is actually doing much better for me than even YouTube. So YouTube, I mean, this is like the main hub, but now I think Facebook is coming up. So with my reach, I mean, compared to what I have on my YouTube to Facebook, my God, I mean, I love making videos on Facebook now because so many people are reached with no time. So, but that's where I saw this. I made this video, and so now I'm making it here for you in a detailed form, so you really understand, this concept and how to interpret this concept of Yogi and Avayogi. So if, let's say, you see your Avayogi planet, your Mercury is the Avayogi. Its Mahadasha is coming for 17 years. And you judge, you simply say, you don't even look at your chart. You look at that Avayogi planet and you start becoming depressed, like, oh my God, this is not going to be good. My life is doomed for 17 years now. And you don't realize that this little concept of Yogi and Avayogi is just a sloka. Decoding it is another whole new method. Because let's say if your Avayogi planet is exalted in the ascendant, Mercury is in Virgo in your ascendant, exalted, beautifully placed in the Navamsha chart. Perhaps even it's Vargottama in the Navamsha chart. So what can happen is, in the Mahadasha of a Avayogi planet, you will find great success through facing obstacles. That's it. Perfect example. Michael Jordan started his career in Venus Mahadasha. Venus is excellent, beautifully placed in the birth chart and Sastyamsha chart. Exalted there actually. For the first 7 years of his career, he lost in playoffs in the first round, got swept in the NBA playoffs, just was frustrated. But right when he won after so many struggles and hurdles, he won his first championship, he won the next 6 straight from his comeback. So what happened is, the hurdles that he went through for the first 7 years, they weren't just there for nothing. They were there to make him mature, to make him grow as a person, to thrive in adversity. And because he thrived in adversity, so when the next time such problem came that he used to face in the 80s, when he saw that in 96, okay, I'm facing this challenge again, he knew exactly what to do. And he overcame that. He overcame his enemies, his opponents. And that's what this Avayogi planet does. If it's greatly placed, what it will do, it'll make you mature as a person. It'll make you grow as a person, and then it'll take you to the top. And remember, the pro of having and going through a Avayogi planet is so vitally important, because if you do not grow as a person, if you do not face hurdles in life, you don't have a story. You don't have a success story without it. Any person that you know who has done great in their life, who you follow as this great inspiration, they all went through great struggles, poverty, to come out of it as a multimillionaire billionaire. You can even read the story of LeBron James, sleeping on couches, going from one house to the other with his mother, barely having enough food to eat, waiting for food stamps to arrive. Today, he's worth over $450 million. So you have to judge everything. Like Yogi planets, you go through a Mahadasha of Yogi planet. Yogi planet is either debilitated or with malefic planets. What happens is, you probably will think without ever judging that, oh, I'm just going to do great in this period of Yogi planet. But what happens is, Yogi planet, if it's not well placed or if it's a malefic, what it do, it'll protect you. it gives a sense of protection during this time because it's not doing good for you. But it is your yogi planet, so it's got to do something. Well, instead of giving you a great result, it'll protect you. Same thing with the duplicate yogi. Duplicate yogi, which you will also see on the page 46 at the bottom, is a planet that simply becomes a mediator between the two. It brings you opportunity, but doesn't really helps you in that. You have to be the one to take those opportunities and run with them. So it's kind of like a middle ground. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's just the middle. But it is all about judging that planet. But let's say if I told you, without ever giving you this explanation of Yogi and Avayogi planet, I said Yogi planet is the greatest planet, Avayogi planet is the malefic worst planet. That's it, and I ended there. You guys probably would have gone nuts. Like, holy shit, I'm about to run into a 20-year period of Venus. And Venus is Avayogi planet, doomed. But now when you look at these planets, you'll be like, okay, this is the planet, Shores debilitated, receives a Nijbhang, exalted in the Navamsha. This is how it plays in Vapsastyamsha. It's Vimshopak, it's Varga Vimshopak, it's pretty high. Okay, this is going to be a great period for me, but it'll be full of challenges, which I'm ready to take. Because remember, if your first 55 years of your life, you were fed everything, you were given everything, you lived like a king in the palace, your father, the king, gave you everything, and then suddenly at the age of 55, everything was taken away, the other kingdom took over, threw you out on the streets, you're going to go mad and crazy because you do not know how to deal with adversity. You do not know how to deal with bad times. But if, let's say, you faced bad times, good times throughout your life, and then you were thrown into this bad time, you will know exactly what to do. You will know exactly where to go, how to build yourself and regain your power. So you need these planets, you need the Avayogi, you need the malefic planets in your life. Without them, you don't have a story. Simple. So it's a beautiful concept, and especially the reason why I said this, because when I'm like doing consultation for someone, and I was testing this concept, I'm looking at, let's say, Saturn was the yogi planet. And I'm like, look, although Saturn is this, Dasha wasn't really that bad. You did okay in this period. Because remember, Saturn was protecting them if they wasn't well placed. Some of them, I'm like, wow, your Mercury Mahadasha was been really great. You must have succeeded very well. And it did. Avayogi planet. The same example I gave you, I saw that. Exalted Mercury in the ascendant. Avayogi planet. I'm like, look, you faced a lot of challenges in this period, but you came on top and you definitely succeeded. And that was true. So literally, I would say probably 85 to 90%. It was coming out the way it was because I was judging. I was using my brain. I wasn't just saying that, oh, you're going through Avayogi planet. Okay, you had the worst Mahadasha. And then the person would reply, no, you're wrong. It wasn't the worst Mahadasha. It was okay. It was challenging, but I made great money during that time period. So you don't just make these kind of irrational decisions. You have to look at the chart and see what the chart is, what nakshatra the planet is in, what house it's in, what yoga is forming. Let's say also, if you have Dhan yogas forming, most of the time Dhan yogas may not come alive. But if, let's say, the planets that are causing the Dhan yoga are sitting in the nakshatra of the yogi planet or the sign of the yogi planet, conjunct the yogi planet, most definitely they'll give you great amount of prosperity. Now, don't think that you're going to become a billionaire. Your prosperity might be to just get $10,000 during that time. But it gave you. That's the thing. It did its job. But it's these subtle, beautiful things in astrology that we miss. Because what do? We get the report. Like when you get the report from me, from my website, you probably just go scroll to the second page, third page, looking at the birth chart. Okay, my planet is there. You're looking at the written interpretation, which pretty much means nothing. The one thing you've missed is that the first page of the report that you get, where you see your sunrise yoga, your tithi, your sunset yoga, your birth yoga, your yoni, just from that, an expert astrologer can give you your entire life, 50% of the life just from that, before they even get to your chart. So just like that, Avayogi Yogi planet on the 46th page that you'll see in the bottom is something that you will always ignore. You'll just scroll down. Okay, where's the written interpretation? That's what I want to know. But it's these things that really show the beauty of astrology. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis of Yogi and Avayogi planets. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know where your Yogi Avayogi planets are, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects at the Speed of Light, and my consultation. And remember, it's option 4 through 9 only with the report. And I think on Tuesday also, Michael Reed is going to come talking about nakshatras again. So that's a beautiful class again. So we will see you tomorrow then.